Thank you for tuning in to Untethered by Judy Klass. Untethered was the winning one-act for the William Faulkner Literary Competition in 2019. This reading is in partnership with the William Faulkner Literary Competition and the Union County Heritage Museum in New Albany, Mississippi. Untethered by Judy Klass. Setting: Jessica's apartment. Not a fancy space. There's a chair and a couch. Haley sits, upset, trying to get a hold of herself. Her things are in an overnight bag. Jessica brings her a glass of water from the fridge. Offstage.
So it's from the Brita filter. It's kind of room temperature.
That's fine.
Sorry, I don't have ice. I don't really do the whole ice cube thing.
This is perfect. Thanks.
I'm not into coffee either. You remember from college. There are a couple Diet Cokes in the fridge, or about a half a bottle of red wine.
This is exactly what I needed. Just a glass of water.
Okay, great.
Jessica, thank you so much.
For what?
For taking my call.
Come on, are you kidding?
For saying I could come over. For acting like a friend to me when I've been such a lousy, rotten, stinking excuse of a friend to you.
Please forget about it. Just relax. It's good to see you.
It was really good to hear your voice on the phone. It was like the first normal, soothing thing that happened all day.
Well, not many people find my voice all that soothing, but hey, I'm glad.
And even you being sarcastic, making wisecracks. I miss that. Just hanging out with friends, being silly.
Well, what can I say? These are the jokes. I'm here all week. Try the veal. You want more?
No, I'm good. I mean, I'm not good. I'm awful. I've just been run over by a truck. I'm dangling off a cliff by a string, and the string is coming apart, but no, I don't need more water.
Do you want to talk about it? Walk me through what happened? Or...
Sure, why not? Steve was in the shower. He left his phone on the table and it began to vibrate. He leaves it unlocked. I picked it up. I'm not a snoop. I'm not generally someone who pries into his life. I hate that kind of person. I don't want to be that. But he'd been away so much lately. When I moved in with him, I told him I have a problem with his apartment being on the first floor with those big front windows. There's a lot of crime in the neighborhood and it didn't feel safe to me. And when he's away overnight or he comes home at 2 a.m. and he doesn't call.
He does that to you a lot?
Look, he's a creative person. He's on a team of writers. They get a lot of money for what they do. And sometimes they have rewrites or meetings at weird hours.
2 a.m.?
I'm saying I didn't want to be that kind of shrill harpy giving him the third degree, saying, "Where have you been? Why don't you have a 9-to-5 job?"
Shrill harpy? Is that something he calls you?
I'm saying I didn't want to cling to him and monitor his movements, but he's just been away so much. I picked up the phone. I read the text. Newest one, and then a whole series of obscene texts from this woman. I recognize the name. She's someone he works with. I've tried to talk to her at parties. She's asked me for a recipe once. This texts make it very clear that not only they're having an affair, but it's an ongoing thing, like not something new. And when he got out of the shower, I lost it.
Okay.
But I mean lost it in every sense. I lost my dignity. I lost my sense of proportion. I lost my ability to hear him and talk to him. And I lost my relationship. I threw it all away by freaking out at him.
Why are you angry at yourself for getting mad that this scumbag was cheating on you?
Because sure, I have a right to be angry, but we could have gotten past this. Maybe we still can, or we could have if I didn't. I was just so bitter when nasty accusing him, and he told me how I'd reduced our relationship to dirt, how I'd thrown it away. I was a snoop. I was a 1950s housewife. I disgusted him. He didn't even recognize who I'd become.
Again, he's a dog. He's sleeping around. Sounds like maybe he wanted to get caught. Like he set this whole thing up.
But we can get to someplace better, or we could have if I didn't go and...
Hey, listen to yourself. What happened to you? You used to be...
No, I know, I don't care. I love him. I can't lose him. That's all that matters. That's all that matters to me. I don't want movement slogans or a pep talk on what I owe myself as a woman. That's worthless. There's me and Steve, or there's nothing. There's nothing else that matters.
If you just take a step back.
No, I don't want to hear it. Keep it to yourself. Choke on it. Go empower yourself. Leave me alone. I'm like an amputee. My arm has been ripped off. Don't tell me to take a step back.
Okay then.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to shout at you. That's wrong. I'm untethered.
Untethered.
I mean, I'm funny in the head. I'm not quite right. I'm whatever you call it. Unhinged. I'm not functioning right now. This can't be happening, except it is happening, and I'm living in a nightmare and I'm not behaving properly.
Don't sweat it. I'm going to get a glass of red wine. That's okay. Sure you don't want a glass?
No thanks. Steve and I don't.
Yeah, I know. Steve doesn't drink. I remember. You used to drink with the best of them.
Said I'm fine with water, thanks.
Well, if I'm drinking alone, then no point in a glass. I'll just swig.
You think I'm ridiculous.
Actually, no, you remind me of me.
When have I ever reminded you of you?
You remind me of the 2 years I lived in Europe. So we didn't have a lot of contact during that time. I fell in love with this guy, Guillermo, his name was. He had a lot of money. We traveled around from city to city. We stayed in hotels. We rented an apartment in Rome for a while. This guy was so hot and so funny. We had a fight about something stupid early on. He turned cold. He said he was cutting me out of his life. I was terrified. I thought I'd lost him, destroyed me, and then he relented. He took me back. It was like the sun came out after a horrible storm.
You're saying you think Steve's going to take me back?
And we never really talked it out. He just acted like it never happened. Smiling, joking with me, being affectionate. I put it out of my mind. I figured I'd live my whole life as an expat. Wherever Guillermo wanted to go, I'd have his kids. I'd build my whole life around him. And then he dumped me for good. It was quick and surgical and unexpected. He turned cold again, and this time it didn't change. And I got wimpy and pleading, and I threw away my pride. He was cutting and vicious, and he ended all contact. It was like I couldn't breathe, like my life was over and there was no point without Guillermo. Nothing made sense. Nothing was worth anything. There was no place in the world where I belonged.
And now you're going to tell me how you moved on and found new love and a rich, fulfilling life.
No, I wish I could tell you that, but no. Very few relationships came that close in terms of somebody smart and interesting who seemed that unusual and special. And that was the only time I lived with someone. The day-to-day routine, the sleepy comfort of it, being able to say, "Hi, honey, I'm home," and feeling like I was home in an alien city. I haven't had anything like that.
Well, thank you, Jessica, for that uplifting story. That was really inspiring. That really gives me hope in a moment of darkness.
Well, you said you didn't want a pep talk.
Oh, go to hell.
But over time, I realized that the intensity of it, the way I imprinted on him like a baby duck, maybe wasn't good for me. And I was able, over time, to get a little distance and admit that he fought dirty in many ways and used me, and I pretended not to notice. I made myself over to be what he wanted, and I lost sight of who I was.
And if he called you up right now, you wouldn't get back with him?
For years afterward, yeah, I would have. Knowing that he was a douche, knowing that the trust wasn't there, then he'd use me and discard me again. Now I don't think I would.
You're lying. For yourself and for me.
I don't think I am. I've got a big mouth. I'd call him on his crap now. I want to talk through everything that happened, and Guillermo doesn't do that. He's not willing to talk things out honestly in any language. I understand his MO. So being home with him wouldn't feel like home anymore.
So you're saying I should just learn to feel good about being lonely and miserable. That's the new normal.
Not exactly. I'm saying feeling like you can't breathe, like there's no point to your life without him. Some of that will get better. You'll get distance.
And there's a chance he could still want me back.
Sure, but don't plan around it. And I say that as someone who blew months and years planning around that kind of thing. You're secretly thinking you'll plan around it and not let me know, and that's fine. Try thinking that a watched pot never boils. So don't watch the pot. Remember when you used to write? Do you still write?
I haven't been.
For how long? Since you've been with him?
I don't want Steve to think I'm using him to build a writing career. I had these amateur projects, so what?
I've seen the webisodes that you make. I even had a cameo in one of them, if you recall. I thought they were smart and funny. I like the relationships between the women in them. They rang true.
They were improv mostly.
Okay, but you also have an ear for dialogue, and you set up lifelike situations. I've watched his show. When you first got together with him, I was happy for you. I wanted you to find a good guy. I wanted us all to be friends. I tried to like his show. I tried so hard I almost herniated something. I don't like his scripts. I don't like the characters.
Well, you've got to understand that
Do
when
you
you're
like them?
it's not some underground alternative thing. There's a way of doing TV when you're
Yeah, why is he writing the voice of women and girls and he never gets it right? Why didn't he ever ask you what you'd say or how you'd handle a situation?
That's not how it works. And I'm not out to exploit our connection. Just
Why is every strong older woman on that show a bitch? Why are women constantly competing with each other? Why can't they ever be friends and take care of each other?
why are you attacking him?
I'm saying finally what I honestly think. And I'm asking you what you think, honestly. Does that show seem like real life to you?
It's television.
I didn't think so. So, he doesn't respect your work. He sabotaged yours. He made you over in various ways. He made you live somewhere where you didn't feel safe. He stayed out until 2 a.m. He screwed around.
All right.
And with distance, those things will start to matter more. You might even say good riddance to bad rubbish. That's what I'm saying. If you don't watch the pot boil, if you reconnect with your friends and start making webisodes again, maybe that'll help you stop hurting. Because I'm not the only friend Steve made you lose touch with, am I? It's a statement, not a question. We do compare notes.
You will trash talk me and Steve?
We worry about you. We don't give a rat's ass about Steve. I've seen him be charming, and he can be theatrically proud of you in public and good to you. I've also seen him be douchey in subtle ways. Again, it's not just me. It's Abigail. It's Kayla. He feels threatened by you having old friends from college. Women you can joke and be sarcastic with, like you said. Or Chris. Steve is homophobic or whatever his problem is with your gay friends. And so he's cut you off from us and left you with nothing.
Not nothing. We go to parties. We meet couples in restaurants. We throw parties sometimes.
Yeah, where you talk to this skank who asked you for the recipe. And meanwhile, we're the funny, scruffy people you have a history with who love you.
Look, you guys all like to go out for Asian food. Thai food, that's your favorite.
Yours too.
Well, Steve doesn't like it, and he didn't really hit it off with any of you, and I know that I've been bad.
You're not bad. You're in love. We've met him. We've seen him attack your sense of self in these little ways. But we're your community. We're your peeps. Or we used to be. We felt like we'd lost you to the Hare Krishnas. We didn't know if we'd lost you forever or if we had to stage an intervention or what. But you're here now. Are you spending the night at my place? The couch contains an old fold-out bed. It's not too bony. I haven't had rave reviews, but people say it's okay. I've got a set of clean sheets.
I was gonna stay in a hotel.
Well, stay here and save money. And let me call everybody up and see if they're free. They can come over and we'll celebrate you becoming untethered. Or in some Thai food. Here, have some red wine.
Jessica.
Yeah, I know. Steve doesn't drink and you're secretly planning to go back to him. But if he takes you back, you can write us all off again. And we won't tell him that you had red wine or had Thai food. Seriously, take a pull of the bottle. It'll do you good. And just think, if he doesn't take you back, you can wear high heels again. You don't have to worry about how short he is. Chris? Hey there, what are you up to? Great news. Haley's a free woman! Either temporarily or permanently. I'm trying to talk her into coming home to us for good. Absolutely. So come over for dinner. I'm ordering from Lemongrass House. Pad Thai, chicken coconut curry, basil duck. Yes, an industrial-sized vat of Tom Yum Goong for everyone. What else should I get?
Get that glazed spicy fish.
Absolutely. Yeah, the crispy fish with the chili and tamarind. What else?
This has been Untethered by Judy Klass. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.